Yo, what's up, guys? You got PokeaimMD here with the first replay from my Smogon Superstars run. If you guys aren't aware what the Smogon Superstars tournament is, basically it's an invite-only tournament on Smogon where, quote-unquote, I'm using quotes when I say this, the best players are invited to play, and then, they do a bunch of rounds, and you try and win. Now, it's a little bit different than other stuff I've been in. Basically, this is me right here, and I'm in pool number 3, which is ORAS OU. So the first week, I will be playing ORAS OU in best of ones versus Hatsuki, Xray, Martial Laws, Bryken, and my boy Amir. Now, again, it's different because after this week, I'll be playing either Black and White or DPP. So the objective is to get as many wins as possible and try and make it into playoffs or whatever it is, however they bracket us, or I have no idea. But yeah, that's basically what Smogon Superstars is. I have my first game right here versus xray. Now, this team that I'm using, this is actually my first time using this team. Part of the reason why I wanted to join Smogon Superstars or be a part of it, even though I had taken a hiatus from Smogon tournaments for like an entire summer, up till now, I wanted some high-level gameplay on my channel. Excuse me, just drinking some water. I am sick, if you guys did not know. I do have like a little cold, as well as my nose is clogged. I don't know. But in any case, this team I'm using, my boy Cosine passed me. This is my first time using this team. However, it did look pretty fun. It's really weak to Megalopony, Weavile, and Choice Scarf Landers T, which of course my opponent happens to bring. Now, obviously, I could immediately notice the Weavile and Megalopony weakness. When Cosine passed me the team, he even told me, dude, this is really weak to those ones. But I didn't know I was that weak to Landers T until seeing team preview of the game we were playing. Now, Xray has Scizor, Breloom, Heatran, Landers T, Starry, and Kyurem Black. Kyurem Black can definitely be an issue, which is why I wanted to lead off with my Garchomp in this game, because Garchomp has the best lead matchup versus Heatran, versus Breloom, versus Scizor, versus Kyurem, and potentially versus a defensive Starmie. Which it does look like it is on his team, just because he's super weak to Keldeo. Keldeo literally clicks its stab and kills everything, so that's most likely defensive Starmie, which means that my Garchomp could beat that as well. Of course, if Scald burns, that is a different, that's an entirely different story right there. But I decided to lead off a Garchomp just because I had the best lead matchup, and the most common Garchomp, this is, by the way, how I narrate these battles. I talk a lot, I pause the video a lot. If I talk about a play, I want to give you guys my thought process. I want to tell you how or why I made a move, and yeah, so in any case, I decided to lead off a Garchomp just because it could get a surprise kill on Kyurem Black, as my opponent leads off with his Landers T. Now, whether this was offensive or defensive Landers T, if he was defensive, he would go for Stealth Rock right here. If he's offensive, I honestly expected him to hard switch into Starmie right here. That way he could just fire off Scalds. But he actually decided to go right for the Earthquake, as it does well over half, as I ended up going for the SD. Now, I went for SD just in case he did try and hard switch into Starmie, because +1 Earthquake with the Life Orb boost could knock out Starmie. He shouldn't have Ice Beam on this team. I mean, maybe that's a big assumption, but like I said, I could tell from his build that is a defensive Starmie. So he either has Reflect type, maybe Thunder Wave, Psyshock, but he definitely does not have Ice Beam on that Starmie. Also, pro tip, guys, if you're using Life Orb Garchomp, Life Orb 3 attacks Garchomp with Fire Fang, Earthquake, and Swords Dance, definitely run Dragon Claw. Outrage is not worth it. You're locked in, you get revenge killed by Lotties. Definitely not worth it. That's something that I learned the hard way. This is my first time using Life Orb 3 attacks Garchomp. Sorry, just drinking some water. Shouts to water. They're gonna pay me like $10. Police Spring is about to pay me like $10 for that shout out. So, no, I'm just kidding. But in any case, I have to switch out. I'm gonna go on to my Thunders right here on the next Earthquake. Now, his best play or his best switch into this Thunders is either going to be his Kyurem or his Heatran, just because if he's Spadef Heatran, he takes it on, and regular Kyurem can take it on anyway. So I'm actually going to double back down to my Garchomp just to catch the Kyurem upon switching, and this is why running Outrage on this Garchomp sucks, because I'm kind of forced to go for Outrage right here. I guess I could have predicted his switch, but I thought even Landers could be his potential play. That was one of his better switches right there, because I had to go in for Earthquake. Obviously, Scizor would take a lot of damage, but he ended up going out to Scizor, which takes absolutely nothing from that. 35%, that is literally zero, as he is going to be able to Mega Evolve, take even less, and go right for the Roost right here. Thankfully, though, I do get the two-turn Outrage, which means that I can save my Garchomp. I'm actually going to pull the switch out into my Heatran, because I can take this as an opportunity to get my Rocks. I expect him to go for Bullet Punch right here. He showed Roost as well as BP, so I'm thinking he's like SD, maybe knockoff on this Scizor knockoff, or then again, I guess superpower could be something on this thing as well. You really can't tell from his build, but I think knockoff would be a 2 because knockoff weakens all the Pokemon that Kyurem can then just pick off. But in any case, gonna get up my rocks right here as he ends up going out to his Heatran. Now, what I can easily do is go right out into my Garchomp. I'm expecting him to get up his own rocks, especially because his Lantern is Choice Scarf. Sorry, my chair just... These little things on the side of my chair, I don't even know what they're supposed to do. I know you're supposed to adjust them, but in any case, I bring up my Garchomp on the rocks as Landorus is going to come out. I decided not to click Outrage just in case he decided to go out into Scizor right there, but he ended up going out to his Landorus, and now I decide to stay in because my way of winning this game is either weaken his team to the point where I can just click Crunch on my Scarf Tar, or try and win with a Nasty Plot Thunderous. Now, Nasty Plot Thunderous might be a little bit harder, especially with Landorus running around, but I do have Focus Blast on it, and again, I'm pretty sure he's defensive starring. I can kill everything. So he's going to U-turn out into a Scizor right there, as I am going to pull the switch into my Heatran. Now, it's pretty obvious that his only 2 switch into this thing are either Starmie or his own Heatran, so I'm actually going to pull the double out into my T-Tar, predicting him to want to go out to Starmie, as that works out for me. Obviously, Starmie could Rapid Spin on Heatran, which is why that was probably the most probable play. Did I just say that was probably the most probable play? I say stuff like that all the time. You guys know what I mean. But I'm just going to click Crunch because even if I won the 50-50 right there and got off the Pursuit damage and knocked out the Starmie with Pursuit, which I would have been able to, and then Rocks would have been there to stay, I would have just given him the switch into his Landorus, and I'd rather, if he switches out into Landorus, I'd rather hit it with Crunch, because the more I hit Landorus with Crunch, especially when Rock's up, the weaker it becomes, and the closer I get it to going down to Stealth Rock, which means I could potentially click Superpower to win the game, or I can click Crunch to win the game. So here they're going to Scizor right there, taking literally 0 from that Crunch, as I am going to go out to my Heatran. He pulls a good double, though, back out into his Starmie, predicting me to want to bring out my Heatran. However, his Scizor is so low right now that it can't even switch into T-Tar one more time. So I'm going to switch out now into my T-Tar right here. It might seem a bit odd that I switched out a fire type into a rock type on a water type. However, Sand is up, and his best play is either going for the Rapid Spin right now. It's probably not going for Scald. It's definitely going for Rapid Spin, since he can easily get rid of my rocks. But he goes right for the spin as I get it in my T-Tar, and I'm going to click Crunch one more time. Again, I explain why I'm clicking Crunch over clicking over Pursuit, as he ends up going Scizor, and because I do have Heatran, which can easily come in, and as well as Thunderous, and even my own Starmie, I'm actually going to decide to pull the switch into my Starmie, because I don't want to get hit with a BP, as he ends up going out to his Landorus, probably just trying to predict my Heatran right there, making a bit of an aggressive play, trying to get some momentum. This is going to work out for me either way, though, because I know that I could take one Scarf U-turn. I do have max HP on this Starmie, and I can go right for the Rapid Spin, as Kyurem is going to come out. Now, Kyurem is definitely an issue to this team. I have to make some aggressive plays versus it. I decided that I need the rest of my members. Venusaur takes on Breloom and can take on Scizor, as well as Landorus, as well as Starmie. Heatran can deal with Scizor. T-Tar deals with Starmie, as well as Kyurem. And basically, Thunderous could win the game, potentially. If I do Nasty Plot up. I don't even need a Nasty Plot to beat this game team right now. I need a Nasty Plot for Heatran, that's about it. So I decided to stack my Starmie right there, go for Scald. I don't really care if I got the burn. It was just to sack my Starmie and just go for the most damaging move I could do, as I can now bring out my T-Tar. Now I have to make some plays. This is when I'm going to click Pursuit, because I need to weaken his Kyurem Black to the point where I can spam Crunch and knock him out. So thankfully he does switch out as I went for that Pursuit, and as he went out to Scizor, I don't have to go out to my Heatran right now. I'm just going to go for double Pursuit, as he actually stays in, predicting me to stays in and not go for the BP. Maybe he goes for the Roost, predicting me to go out to Heatran, but either way, he's able to bring back out that Kyurem Black, which is a little bit frustrating. But I'm gonna bring out into my my Heatran as a pivot, and I'm actually gonna double out into my Thunderous. One, because if he doesn't choose to go for Earth Power right here, his best switch into my Heatran is his Starmie. And 2, if he does go for Earth Power, I obviously dodge it, and I can knock him out with the Focus Blast. So I'm able to get in my Thunderous on the defensive Starmie, and now what I can do is just click Thunderbolt. There's no way he's going out to Landorus right now. That would be a pretty poor play. It's most likely that he would go out to his Heatran, because he could easily take a Thunderbolt, and then he can set up the Stealth Rock. So expecting him to want to set up his Stealth Rock right here, I am going to go for the Nasty Plot. Being a bit more aggressive with my Thunderous, and now I have to fire for Focus Blast. It does kill Heatran at 81%, so I'm going to go right for that Focus Blast, as Breloom is going to be the switch in. And even though I do have my Venusaur to come in right now and it can easily eat a Mach Punch, I can't go out to Venusaur because Venusaur invites Kyurem Black to come back in. So my best play is actually staying in with my Thundurus, taking this Mach Punch and then knocking him out with a potential HP Ice or Thunderbolt, which is why I'm going to choose to stay with Thundurus. So again, to explain that, I do have Venusaur, which could have easily came in, but Venusaur invites Pokemon like Heatran, and more so, and even more scary for me, Kyurem Black, which gets a kill whenever it comes in now, especially because my T-Tar is low. Ice Beam will do a lot. Ice Beam, with its ability, obviously goes through thick fat on my Venusaur. And then I don't know if he has Earth Power on his Kyurem Black per se. He should though. But in any case, I'm going to stay in and take this Mach Punch like I said, as I will be able to knock him out with either the HP Ice or Thunderbolt. It doesn't really matter what I went for. I went for HP Ice just in case he wanted to make a weird pivot into his Landers right there. As now what he can do is bring out his Landers. I have to switch out because I need Thundurus because it's my ground immunity on the team. So I'm actually going to go out into my Heatran because I expect him to go for Stone Edge, and now I can get some momentum by getting up my Stealth Rock, or even just get up these rocks just will help me, because what this does is it gets up my rocks for me. He's more likely to go out to Starmie. If he wants to go for Rabbitson right here, I went for Toxic, and then after leftovers, I would have been able to live his Scald. He actually get a crit, which does matter because I wouldn't have knocked me out, but it doesn't matter because I kept my rocks. So I'm going to go right out to T-Tar, and again, my best play is just going right for Crunch right here, as he is going to sack his Starmie. So now rocks are up, and the game is being set for me winning with potentially Thundurus or potentially T-Tar. Now, because I am in such a bad position, I would say a bad position just because Landers can still beat my entire team plus Kyurem, I'm actually forced to make a prediction and stay in right here, predicting him to go for U-turn, expecting me to either go Thundurus or a Venusaur, and go for Crunch. Now, the reason I made this play is whatever comes in, Heatran is potentially weakened or potentially 2 KO'd after rocks. Even though I am -1, the weaker Heatran is, the better, because that means I can just click Thunderbolt versus it with my Thundurus as opposed to clicking Focus Blast. Or if Kyurem Black comes in, Stealth Rock plus Crunch mean that he can't switch into Stealth Rock again, meaning he will die. So I'm going to go for Crunch right here, as he does end up going for that U-turn. Again, I'm in the position where I have to make a play right here, and he ends up going out to the Kyurem, and because Sand and all of that, and Crunch, even after the -1, it is going to be a 2-hit KO. Now, he actually makes a bit of an odd play, and the reason I say it's an odd play is because he ends up pulling right back out into his Landorus, saving his Kyurem as fodder, which I say is an odd play because now Landorus is weak enough to the point where if it comes back into Stealth Rock, Superpower will knock it out 100%. So he's helping me set up for the sweep with either my Tyranitar or my Thundurus. Unfortunately though, because T-Tar is really low and Stealth Rock are up, I only have one more switch in, which means that it's more than likely going to come down to a Focus Blast this game. But that gives me a 70% chance to win. In any case though, I'm going to switch out into my Venusaur because his best play is actually going for knockoff right here. Or actually my, sorry, I'm going to go into my Thundurus. I'm going to turn ahead, but I'm going to go into Thundurus because I do expect him to either go for Earthquake or the U-turn. As he U-turns right out into his Kyurem, that is completely fine. Now he makes a bit of a, I guess, an odd play by going directly into Thundurus as opposed to going into Heatran, because what he could have done, well, I guess it didn't make a difference right now, because if I hit Heatran with a Focus Blast, then I won with Crunch, because I clicked Crunch, and Crunch knocked out Tran after Focus Blast damage, and also knocked out Landers. So he actually made, his play and go out to his Landers T. I'm going to switch out now into my Venusaur because his best play is actually going for the knockoff, because it does knock out my Thundurus. It knocks out T-Tar after the hazards, and now it's a bit of a 50-50. Well, he thinks it's a 50-50. My best play is easily Mega Evolving and going for the Synthesis. The reason for that is if I somehow lose my, either T-Tar or Thundurus, I have no way of dealing with his Heatran. So I have to Mega Evolve, I have to go for Synthesis. I can't be low with my Venusaur as well, because that means that if I'm low, let's say I put a double right here into T-Tar as he goes out into, like, Heatran or something. If my Venusaur is low, basically what I was trying to do was I tried to make it that I don't lose to Scarf Stone Edge sweeping me. I couldn't really explain it right there. I'm sorry, guys. My head is like a little bit all over the place. But I was trying to make it that way Choice Scarf Stone Edge won't sweep me, and also if he gets a crit on Stone Edge, it won't crit me. So I decided to stay in right here. And part of me probably should have went for the Giga Drain right now. But at the same time, if he did stay in, Yes, it would have knocked him out, but then Heatran would have been able to recover to the point where it could beat these two, because I'm pretty sure Thunderbolt, if he would have almost got it back up to full, well, we'll see. In any case, now is the turn that he has to go Heatran. Now is the turn that we 100% has to go Heatran. Because I am back at full. So if I kill Landorus, I win the game. I actually thought he would go Heatran originally too, but I didn't want to double right back there just in case he stayed and went for knockoff. Like I said, in hindsight, maybe I should have went for the, what's it called? The Giga Drain and knocked out Landorus, but at the same time, Heatran would be able to come in after that, and it would be able to get back up to almost full HP with leftovers, while beating me 1v1 with Taunt plus Lava Plume. So, I think I had to stay on that turn, as now I do expect him to go Heatran. He has to go Heatran. My Venusaur is at full HP. So again, I'm going to make a play, and I'm actually going to double into my Tyranitar, predicting him to want to go out to a Heatran, as I do catch the Heatran upon switching, and like I said, his Landorus is low. He switched it in from Kyurem into Landorus, so I am now going to be able to knock him out with the superpower. However, I am going to be -2 due to his Intimidate, as well as the own superpower drop. And again, like I said, it's going to come down to that 70% chance, because I have given myself a 70% chance to win. So if I get a crit right here, I can win 100%, obviously. But I am able to do about 36% with the superpower, as he is going to be able to knock me out with the Lava Plume at that range of HP. And now it comes down to, will I hit my Focus Blast? If I hit Focus Blast, I win the game. It's a 70% chance for me to win. It's a 30% chance for him to win. And I can't go for Thunderbolt right now, because 31%, which I did last time, is a high roll. So if I don't get that high roll, if I don't get that absolute high roll, and then my Giga Drains don't get like the high rolls of 7, all of them, which is a really, really low chance, he's able to beat me with leftovers. He's able to beat my Venusaur with leftovers, and then Lava Plume plus Taunt beats me 1v1, because Giga Drain only does like 6% on average, and I would eat like 7 to 8%, like a super max roll, if I'm not mistaken, from my Venusaur. So I go for Focus Blast, and I miss. So I set it up for either Thunderous or T-Tar to sweep, even after losing my Garchomp so early on in the game. And Pokemon says no. It's really unfortunate, but at this point I can't even beat his Heatran. Had I went for Thunderbolt, it did not matter. I'm gonna show you guys the calc right now. I'll show you guys the calc. 2 standards per def Tran. So this is Thunderous. It's Oh You Nasty Plot. This is Heatran. Oh You Spadef. Obviously this isn't the Heatran he's running. This isn't the Heatran he's running, because obviously this does 25 to 30%. However, if he's running the standard set, which runs like 180 and runs like 68 speed, as you can see, 32%. This is like the standard spread, something like that. It's a standard spread, but 32% is the absolute max that I needed. I needed to hit a Focus Blast. Focus Blast 100% would have KO'd him. And I obviously would have won the game right there. But again, Pokemon said no, and even though I put myself in a 70% chance to win, it doesn't work that way. But in any case, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll definitely do my best to win the next few battles. Again, leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want, and until next time, guys, later.